Hello, welcome to Market Update. My name is Edward Nyakun. The EU leaders on Monday agreed to impose 6 sanctions on Russia, which means that by the end of this year, 90% of crude from Russia will not enter into the EU market. And the question is, what will be the impact on the rest of the world, including Ghana? We're going to talk to Kwejo Jan, who is a financial analyst based in the UK. Paul Apiakunedu also in Italy, to find out more from them as to the ramifications that these sanctions will have on our part of the world. Some analysts are saying that if Russia says it's going to cut its production by 30%, this means that oil prices, which are currently hovering around $112 per barrel, might shoot up to $185 per barrel. So many more of these we're going to talk about. So we go straight for the business language. Maurice Ogbete is standing by to give us an update from the Ghana Stock Exchange. Hello, welcome back, Morris. We're listening, watching you, what's happening on the market.
Thank you very much, Edward. We see just a slight movement on the Ghana Stock Exchange today, at 0.38 points, largely driven by SIC. They gained 2 pesos per share by close of trading today. As I yesterday, they were doing 8 pesos per share. Now they're doing 30 pesos per share. And so we also saw, because of SIC, the financial stock index moving up some 68 points. Year to date, from January to June, we're doing, by way of return on investment, negative 8.55%. The financial stock index at 1.57%. That figure has been, dropping since the beginning of the year to now. Was around 3.6 thereabout, now at 1.57%. By close of trading today, some 227,960 shares exchanged hands, and that was valued at 426,116 Ghana cedis. The market capitalization still at 62.2 billion Ghana cedis. We've seen that figure move from around 64 billion thereabout. We're now doing 62.2 billion Ghana cedis because of what has happened to the Ghana Stock Exchange from the beginning of the year till now. And so, as I said, it was XIC, an insurance company. They gained 2 pesos per share. As I said, they were doing 28 pesos. Now they're doing 30 pesos per share. And it's all about, the demand and supply equation that we've seen on the Ghana Stock Exchange over the months. Then, so they gained
2
pesos, per share. MTN, as usual, they sold some 9,418 shares by close of trading today, and then SIC sold 50,000 shares, and then Societe Generale sold 10,000 shares. We see Total sold 75,950 shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange today. And so that's how the market is like. It was just a slight movement driven by SIC.
All right, thank you very much, Maurice Ogbete, for the update from the Ghana Stock Exchange. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll join via Zoom with Kwejo Jan and Paul Apiakunedu. Hello, welcome back to Market Avenue. We're looking at the latest sanctions that have been imposed on Russia by the EU, which indicates that by the close of this year, 90% of crude from Russia will not enter into the EU market. And the question is, what's Russia going to do and what will be the impact on us here? Russia is saying that if that comes up, it will cut off production by 30%. That is likely to drive the price of oil to $185 per barrel. Kwajo Jan, if you can hear me, you're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great.
The sound is really, really bad. I can't hear you very well.
Oh, sorry. But you are in UK. How's the platinum celebration of the Queen? How is it going?
Well, as you know, today starts the 4-day platinum celebration of the Queen's 70 years on the throne. So today was the beginning, and today we had what they call the
You can go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, please.
Yes. So today we had the celebration of the Queen's birthday, which is she was 96 today, and today also marks the beginning of 4 days of celebration of her ascension to the throne. So today's celebration was called Trooping the Colours, and it's basically about all the pomp and pageantry of the UK, all the army services. So I don't know if any of you had a chance to watch TV, you saw everything that the British is all about in terms of military power. You saw all the airplanes, warplanes over the years flying by Buckingham Palace. So this is the beginning of the celebration. Tomorrow it's a Thanksgiving service, and then Saturday there are going to be some parties at Buckingham Palace, and then Sunday will be a lunch for everyone in their houses. They are trying to get the biggest celebration of lunch all around the country. So this will be the celebration over the next 4 days.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, in the midst of the party, how is the cost of living? How is the cost of living in the UK?
Can you please come again?
Cost of living. Well,
the cost of living, as you may be aware, is still very high. I'm not sure if you are aware that over the past week, the government has promised to make some form of payment to every individual, every individual towards their energy bills, because as we spoke recently, the energy bills have risen up to about 2,800 for every household for the year, and the government is trying to take off some of that knock of those high prices. The government is also promising extra funding for the vulnerable, and especially people who can afford to make these payments. The government is also promising extra payments towards these individuals' energy bills. So this is how at the moment the UK is going in terms of, and because of energy prices, food production is also very high. So food in the shops are a bit expensive as well. So that's what's going on in the UK at the moment.
All right, now let's look at the latest sanctions by the EU on Russia, which indicate that by December they will ban 90% of crude from Russia to the EU market. If you watch and look what has transpired so far, and even at the moment the fuel prices that is hiking, if this come on stream, what will be the impact on the global economy?
Well, I think that the EU are more or less, what you call cranking up, the sanctions on Russia to be able to force their hands. And so this is at the moment the latest show of power of the EU to more or less stop Russian oil that is going by sea by the end of the year. I mean, they don't really want to buy them anymore, and so I think that this is also a game changer depending on if it's going towards the end of the year. I mean, what will happen if Russia decides to pull out of Ukraine? Maybe this new sanction might be dropped, but I think that this is a long-term view by most of the EU to make sure that even if this war doesn't end as early as it can, it will still not be reliant on any more on Russian and I think this is more or less for them to also show their economic power as well, in terms of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
All right, so let's pick Paul Apiakwadu's thoughts about these latest sanctions by the EU. He is in Italy, but he's moved to Germany at the moment. Paul, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Bishop, for having me. This is on your program.
Great to have you. Now you're based in Italy. Now you've moved to Germany at the moment. Tell us how life is in both countries at the moment.
Yeah, life in Europe in general, cost of living has increased quite significantly since the beginning of the invasion in February. Like the cost of food items in particular have increased across board. For example, yesterday we went to the supermarket to buy egg, and a crate of egg which was being sold for €2 before February now goes for €4. And that cut across almost all food items have increased. The cost of fuel in particular, before the invasion, a liter of fuel in Germany was €1.4. Now we are talking of between 1.9 to 2.2 euros, depending on the time in which you buy the fuel. Usually when you buy the fuel in the peak hours, you end up paying more. If you buy it early morning or in the afternoon, when most of the people are, usually the prices are quite lower than in the peak hours. That is in the morning between 8 and 10 when people are going to work, and also in the evening between 4 and 6 when people are closed and coming back from work. So generally, cost of living has increased. But I think one thing that is helping to restrain the price increases is the fact that in Europe, transportation is highly controlled by the government. So even though the price of fuel is increasing, the cost of transport has remained almost the same. In Italy, for instance, since 2018 that I entered the country, the cost of transport have not increased by even a cent. Even in the midst of the increase in the price of fuel and all that, transportation costs have remained the same. So a lot of the inflationary pressures are coming from food items. And as we all know, the contribution of that aspect of spending on inflation is not that much. In Ghana, for instance, we are talking about 33% from transportation. So here, cost of transport is stable, and that is helping to tame the inflationary pressures a bit.
All right, Paul. The EU is threatening to, cut Russia's oil supplies to its market by 90%. Some analysts are predicting that if this happens, and Russia is also saying that, look, I'm going to cut off production to the market by 30%. Therefore, prices might hit $185 per barrel. What will happen to the global economy?
Yeah, as we all know, even in the current situation that we find ourselves in, we know that the price of oil is now at even $113 per barrel. It's having a significant impact on the cost of fuel across many countries, which is causing a lot of instability. And if the new sanction comes to effect, what it means is that from 113 to 185, that is given that Russia will also respond by cutting the production of oil by 30%. What it means that there will be limited supply of crude oil in the international market, and given the same demand, there is likely to be shortage of crude oil, which will put pressure on the price of crude oil on international market to rise, and it could even go beyond the $185 a barrel that has been projected by JP Morgan. So what it means is that economies around the globe should probably brace up for very difficult times ahead, and we hope that things will not get that to the point where crude oil will even be in shortage, and that we will be able to get a crude oil to buy even at a higher price, so that economies can continue to function as expected.
Kojo John, if you look at this sanction, if it kicks in, let's look at Africa and Ghana in particular. What would be the knock-on effect on our economic, projection in terms of growth?
Well, I mean, if Russia is sanctioned and they also decided to cut back on production, then you're talking about a major crisis within the world, in terms of energy, in terms of Europe. As we're speaking, Ghana, we are more an import-driven economy, and if production within Europe is high, or production around the world is high in terms of energy, transportation, costs are higher, then basically this will affect products that are imported into the country, because as Paul was saying, if even in Germany, price of egg is double the price, and of course same thing is happening in the UK, then anything that is produced around Europe that comes to Ghana will also be more than double the price, and this will have an effect on the African continent or any continent around the world. So I think that it's just a matter of time, and that the Ghanaian economy needs to rely on its own and find ways of surviving on its own. Otherwise, if we are going to be being reliant on these European or the Western countries, they are also going to go through a hard time in the next few months. I think we've spoken about so many doom and gloom around, talking about possible recession in Europe. So if these things are going to happen, then this will have an adverse effect on the Ghanaian economy, and food prices, fuel prices, and because in Ghana the transportation market is not a properly regulated market as it is in Europe. This will escalate to the point where it will affect everything around the country.
So finally, Paul, Jiffy, what should the individuals do, even including government in Ghana?
Yeah, I think in a period like this, it is very important that individuals begin to have a look at their spending behavior. It's important to have a scale of preference, a list of items that we normally spend on, and then identify those things that are very basic to our survival that we really need to survive, and cut back on expenses that really do not add so much to our welfare, because certain things are beyond our control, and especially in an economy like Ghana, where we depend on the global market for refined petroleum products. Government at this point does not also have the capacity to subsidize. What it means is that whatever instability, whatever price hikes on the global market, it will pass on to the final consumer. And the pass-through effect will be coming through transportation, food, because producers of food also need to move the goods across the country. The transportation costs will indirectly feed into food costs. So it is important for people to plan ahead and as much as possible try to save to support themselves in the periods ahead, so that to be able to at least make it even in this difficult period.
All right, thank you very much, Paula Piakonedu and Kojo Jan, for your time. So this is how we wrap up today on Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyako. God willing, we'll come away again tomorrow. Shalom.